So my name is Derrick Estell. I'm with Toth Associates. My background is primarily in transportation, traffic, civil site, and stormwater engineering. Toth Associates is a full-service engineering firm. Here today to talk about traffic impact studies. And they're a very important tool, very important planning tool, not only for municipalities, state DOTs, and counties and road districts, but also for developers and those looking to develop in our community. If I had to summarize a traffic impact study into a single sentence, it would essentially be an engineering study to determine the traffic impacts of a particular development in an area in our community and give us an idea of what improvements, if any, are necessary to accommodate that proposed development. So a traffic impact study a lot of times going to come into play when a development is looking to develop in a particular community or a county or a region. It allows us to take a look at the existing traffic, what it's doing today by collecting those traffic counts and traffic data, and that's a lot of times that can be collected in a number of different ways. You can have someone out there counting traffic manually by hand, or they can set up traffic counters or radars or cameras. And then when they collect that traffic data, it basically gives us a snapshot of what traffic looks like in that particular area. And then allows us, when it's actually studied and ran through the actual traffic analysis, it allows us an opportunity to look at what the impacts of this development are going to be on the transportation network and what those are going to look like in the future, maybe 20 years down the road. Essentially, if I had to put it in layman's terms, it's basically a before and after snapshot of what traffic looks like before and after the development occurs. The before shot gives us a good idea if there are any existing deficiencies in the transportation network. Typically, the developer will only be expected to make improvements for what traffic they're generating, not any other deficiencies, and that's why it's usually a good idea to get that before and after snapshot. Most traffic impact studies are pretty specific to a particular development. In some instances, municipality or DOT will do kind of a regional traffic study, but it is a different animal compared to development-specific traffic impact studies. And as a part of those traffic impact studies, it is typically the responsibility of the developer to hire an engineer to perform those traffic impact studies. There's typically an open line of communication with the city or county or state or road district on what's expected out of that traffic study and what's necessary as a part of it. But in general, it's the developer that's responsible for preparing those in communication with the city, of course. And again, the entity having jurisdiction will typically review those and make sure that it meets at least the minimum qualifications for a traffic impact study for the level of traffic that's being generated. Whenever a particular development is looking to come into our community, a lot of times they'll look at traffic patterns. They will want to evaluate, what type of visibility do I have along a particular roadway, what type of traffic volumes are on that roadway. We want to try to capture that traffic, maybe on their way into work or on their way home from work. A lot of times traffic can be a catalyst for economic development in our community. To be able to analyze and study that traffic, I think is not only valuable for the government jurisdictions, but also for the developer themselves. I think it'll give them a better idea of what to expect as a part of their development, what types of traffic patterns they can expect, how to design their site around the amount of traffic that's being generated and where it's coming from. There's a component of traffic studies that are more prevalent in today's society, and that's multimodal considerations, especially in higher density urban areas. Having consideration for public transit or biking and walking, all important components, or maybe there's even freight and trucking that's coming into an industrial development area. All important considerations in a traffic study and all things that should be considered. And obviously, above all else, the number one thing is safety. It's always the most important component of a traffic study we want to consider, is making sure that we're developing an area or a piece of land in a way that's going to be safe and efficient for the traveling public. Any potential developer looking to work in the Christian County area, I think it's important to meet with Show Me Christian County to get an idea of what some of the local engineering firms and architects and design professionals that'll be able to assist them in their journeys necessary to make the development become a reality.